You know, I actually wasn't really gonna do this at first. Well, I was, but I didn't want to, and I decided to say fuck it and do it anyway. Because I have... Side note, I have not had a good day at all. Long story on that. I don't feel like talking about it. I don't feel like going into it. Just not a good day for me, but let's talk about fucking Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Okay. Some questions have come up regarding this game because of a Facebook status I posted, which was that I had started playing the game at 4 a.m. and had beaten it at 5:30 a.m. And that's all I said, which may raise some concerns among the observant of you out there, because you know. That means the game is fucking. It can be beaten in an hour and a half. In fact, it can be beaten in less than that time, because I actually died quite a few times playing it. So, like, it could probably be done in an hour. And you might be saying, okay, but that, you know, that's just gameplay time, and I'm sure the cutscenes are there. No, that's including cutscenes. That. Yeah, wow, you know, like, wow, wow, how do you, Jesus Christ, okay, and, I mean, in fairness, the game's $30, yes, this is true, but, still, wow, I paid for games that were 15 that took way longer to beat than that, and some defenders will point out that, hey, what about all the side missions? And, like, yes, there are a bunch of different missions you can do in the game. It's not just the main story. There are a bunch of other different missions you can do that are, I believe, that are basically non-canon, but they're sort of fun. And there's content here. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I guess my issue with this game is that the story here is here to set up frickin' Phantom Pain, the next part to Metal Gear Solid 5. Fine. But the story here is so short, like the actual core story, like the actual canon, the thing that we need to know to understand the plot of the next game, is so short and contained that I don't personally understand why this is even a separate experience. Like, the extra missions are great, but why is this separate from the Phantom Pain at all? Like, why, it doesn't have to be. Because, like, Ground Zeroes, that actual mission can be done in less than 2 hours. Fucking, it's a little ludicrous. I was actually gonna do like a proper review of this game, but I have since decided that I'm not going to do that because I don't know why I would bother. Because there really isn't much to tell, and that's sort of what bothers me. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of unlockables, and you could, you know, sort of piece together, you know, things about the plot that you wouldn't have gotten from, you know, Peace Walker and stuff like that. Fine, but, you know, even the shorter Metal Gear games take at least like 5 or 6 hours. Like, okay, people were complaining that Rising was too short. I beat Rising in 6 hours, and mind you, I have a tendency to beat games very quickly. But Rising had a lot of replay value. Rising was a lot of fun. Like, it was a ton of fun. And, you know, yeah, sure, the main story was 6 hours, but it was 6 hours. And it wasn't an hour and a half, which is what I got out of Ground Zeroes so far. I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to play the side missions and everything, and, you know, those have been a little fun for the most part, but the main story, like you may be saying, well, you didn't really look around, did you? You probably just did the objectives. Yeah, that's kind of what you're supposed to do. You know, you go in to the main story, and it tells you, okay, you have 2 objectives. You have to save these 2 characters. You have to save Paz and Chico, and frickin' you go and you save Paz, and you go and save Chico, and that's it. Like that is literally the mission. I thought there was gonna be even more after that. There isn't. In the core game, you know, yeah, I can look around, but what's the point? Why would you ever do that? I have never, ever done that in any other Metal Gear Solid game. There's always objectives, and you always go straight to the objectives. Metal Gear Solid has never really been an exploration game. The only one that came a little close to doing that, it was 3. And the only reason you would ever look around in the other games were to find some hidden, like, items, or, you know, extra boxes, or, you know, a weapon that you wouldn't normally get. You know, little things like that, but it didn't like, even just following the main story, you get, I mean, out of the other games, you get, like, 10 plus hours at least, usually. You know, shorter if you know what you're doing, but, I mean, at least 10 hours or so, roughly, out of, you know, like 2 and 3 and 4. But this is just, I mean, yeah, it's $30. Again, it's cheaper than it was supposed to be, and, you know, there you go, and it looks great, and it plays great, and it sounds great, and, you know, there's really no other problems except the length. And it just, it feels like they took Phantom Pain and, like, cut off just a part of that game and just shoved it on its own disc. And it's like, here you go, this is the first part. And it's like, well, this really isn't much of anything. Like, you didn't really give us anything. And that's sort of what bothers me about it. Again, you know, maybe, you know, the side missions are nice, and I'm not saying it's not worth a buy, especially if you're a fan, but I would not recommend this as a jumping on point. No, 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 no. That is a terrible decision. Go play 3 as a jumping on point, or the original on the PlayStation, or Twin Snakes if you can't find that one. You know, do not use this as jumping on point. If you're not a fan of the Metal Gear Solid games, you are going to hate this. No, not recommended for non-fans. No way. If you're a fan, it might be fine. Like, you know, side missions are nice. The game's fun. It is. It's just that I'll tell you this. If you play Metal Gear Solid for the story, you're not missing much of anything. You could watch the 2 cutscenes in the game and know what's going on. Like, you don't need to buy this to know that. There's not enough plot here that to warrant it is sort of my issue. So there you go. That is a brief little review of frickin' Ground Zeroes. Recommended only if you're a fan. It's not terrible. It isn't, but my God, an hour and a half. Like, seriously, come on, what the hell. So next time, this is Darkness, the Visual Farewell.